Hello. Welcome. Don't know if my mic is working or not. Is my mic on? Yes. Okay, it's working now. Hello and welcome to the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce inaugural annual awards luncheon. I have the pleasure of having a ginormous lawnmower behind me outside of the building that has just turned on at the time that I'm going to speak, so that's wonderful. It might be why I'm yelling. I feel like I need to yell over that. I am Mindy Anderson. I'm the Executive Director and the founder. Keep going? Okay, he said keep going. I'm the founder and executive director of the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce, and I just want to welcome you all here today. This is so amazing. This is just so wonderful what we've been able to do this year and grow a little bit more with our concept at the Chamber and have a bigger event than what we had last year. Last year, as some of you know, you were there in attendance, we were at the Hilton Garden Inn and we were able to talk about our first year of success and what we were going to be working on this year. So looking forward to sharing that information with you on our success, on what we've done this last year, and some of it is actually over the last 2 years of what we've accomplished. So lots of great information to share, and I hope you'll enjoy your time with us today. Before we get started, I'd love to ask if you could kindly silence your cell phones and just make sure they're on vibrate. If you have any calls or anything you need to take, we understand it's a middle of the workday here, and we're asking you to be here for an hour and a half, so thank you so much. At this time, I would like to open up our luncheon with a time-honored tradition that we do in the military. We're going to do something a little bit different this year. We don't have a national anthem singer, but what we do have is a beautiful rendition of God Bless America that will be done by Anna Moreno from Boise State University Veterans Assistance Office.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, wide with foam. God bless America, my home.
That was amazing. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. I had the pleasure of hearing Anna sing at our our Idaho Air National Guard banquet last year, and I just couldn't wait until the next opportunity where I could bring her to sing at one of my events. So thank you so much for all you do, too, for the Boise State veterans and the office there that you serve. All right, so I'd like to first start off by thanking our event sponsors. We have Idaho Department of Commerce over here at table 3. Thank you so much, Carmen. She was with us last year and she came up after and she said, I'd love to support this event next year. And so I said, wonderful, let's figure out how to do that. And not only are they great supporters of our committees and our steering work that we do, but also volunteers, connecting us to opportunities within the community. And so thank you so much for all that you do for us throughout the year. Carmen, Jenny, Kathy, Kim. I know I'm forgetting some others, but thank you so much. Coca-Cola we have in the back. Our two friends from Swire Coca-Cola, they sponsored our business pitch competition last night, which you'll hear a little bit more about in a bit. And then Boise State University, we have Alina and Kara, they're in the back there. They supported our business pitch competition too as well. They're from the Venture College side of things. We have Clemson Method, John is out here somewhere. He's one of our veteran business owners. Hi, Don. We also have Idaho Power. A table of Idaho Power is here, table 4. Which one is Sean? Is Sean here?
I'm here for Sean.
Oh, you're here for Sean. I was supposed to meet Sean finally. We've been working with Idaho Power on a lot of different things, but mostly with our Skill Bridge program. They've been great supporters of us. We also have Freedom Payments. They're a third card processing center, Jeff, and there they are back there. They're one of our veteran business owners, and then Slate Design. They have provided the awards that we'll be handing out. And then also Freedom Payments, they provided the centerpieces, flowers from one of their customers that they work with. So thank you so much. We also have a whole bunch of exhibitors, and I know this list grew a little bit more because we had some late on add-ons. So thank you so much to all those that came out today to put out a booth and just be a resource available to connect with our military community members, whether it be veterans, military serving, or their families. A little bit about our mission. For some of you that don't know fully what our mission is here at the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce, we are a network navigation hub. Something that when I started looking at some models a couple of years ago at what we really needed truly in the state of Idaho, we started looking at navigation. And we started working with Senator Crapo's office in regards to a bill that they were getting ready to reintroduce that they had not had success with. And it was called the Veterans Network Navigation Hub Act. And that was to create a space in the actual community that's deeply rooted in the community that would help connect veterans, military in transition, and their family members to resources and services in a wraparound navigation model. A little bit different from being Division of Veteran Services or U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs or a military installation. This act is for nonprofits, 501c3s that actually focus on creating the relationships and building the partnerships to make it a little easier to connect them to the resources that they need to get connected to in different ways. So when we looked at our model, this is what we created. And our navigation services model is really focused around providing navigation in education, housing, entrepreneurship, workforce management, family and wellness services. And our vision to execute that mission is to really bridge the gaps by building strong partnerships and relationships, because we know that we cannot support our military connected community with the Idaho community resources if we don't know where they are, because they are all over in these 5 navigation services areas. So that's what we've been doing for the last 2 years. We've been focusing on just building the partnerships and building the relationships, and this room just shows how successful we've been at that. at building those partnerships with agencies, companies, organizations, other nonprofits, school districts, institutes. I mean, just the list goes on and on of those that we've been able to build our partnerships with. A little bit about our team. We have myself, and then we have Yori De La Rosa. She's our vice president and co-founder, AKA my ride or die. When she's out, I am crippled. So I appreciate everything she does for me, and I'm not sure where she landed. There she is. Okay. Thank you, Yori, for everything you do for us. Appreciate you. She does a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, helping keep the machine going. Brian McKinney, she is our marketing strategist. She's back there. You'll probably see her floating around with her camera. She's the doer of all things. Apparently her other badge of her other job says. We also have Armand Todd, and he's back there. He is our employer navigation manager. He works a lot with employers, so there's probably employers in here that have worked with him maybe through email communication and you've never met him before, but he's here today, so please take some time to connect with him. Then we have Piper Podzimic. I'm not sure if Piper made it or not. I know she's on reserve orders right now. She's actually on a leave of absence from us because she's activated. She's going to try to come out here today. We also have Sylvia Castro, who is our entrepreneur navigator. And then we have some other behind the scenes, Eric Underwood. He's our content marketer. He was a BSU WorkU intern with us in the spring. He helped us redesign our entire website. He went back home to Washington, so we kept him on though, and he's been helping us with our website. Then we have Richard Van Dyke. Where did Richard land? There he is. He is one of our workforce navigators too as well. He works with our veterans. Then we have Kendall. Where did Kendall land? Oh, there's Kendall. Kendall is with BSU as well. She's one of our interns here with the fall, and so is Grace. She is actually out of Washington, so she is working remotely with us. So as you can see, we have grown significantly. I think last year we had 5 people on the slide, and this year we have this many people, and we have, they're all part-time personnel too as well. So we've been able to be very systematic and strategic about the type of people we bring in, the skills, and the amount of hours that we need from them to support our navigation services so that we can sustain our mission and our model as a new nonprofit. We also have our board of directors, myself, Yori, and Jessica Kofod. She's our board chair. There she is. We have Matt Christensen from Johnson May. He is our vice chair, and he's with Johnson May, I mentioned that. Jennifer Lastra, she's our administrative officer, and she is with 360 Immersive. And she was also one of our pitch panelists last night. Zach Papulis, I don't think he made it out. He was gonna try, but Lucas is here. I know he's here. Lucas? Oh, there's Lucas. Hi, Lucas. I'm looking the wrong way. Lorenzo wasn't able to make it. We have Joe Ariza. I know I saw Joe. Joe's back there from St. Alphonsus. He's also our workforce chair. Todd Carlson. Nope, didn't quite make it. Don Rollins. And Don's there, finance committee chair. And then we have Casey Byington. Okay, she didn't make it yet either. Okay. All right, board of directors, we've been doing some really great work this year. As you may know, last year we had a ribbon cutting ceremony and we did our installation of our first full board, and so we brought on 11. We've had a few that have since resigned the position due to bandwidth, time commitment, or moving out of the area and unable to perform the commitments. But this year we did some really great work at helping our board find their space and their place and how they can contribute and help with growing this mission that we have. We also brought in Idaho Partners for Good. Blossom is back there. She's founder of Idaho Partners for Good, and we brought in some consultants from their nonprofit group that help to do training for nonprofits. And they help us build a fund development plan and just do some really great work with our board that we're working on now to get implemented to go into the future. So Thank you so much to Idaho Partners for Good for all of your support that you've given to us in the last year in helping us to just stay the course and establish and develop our board to where we need it to be to move forward. And with that, we're going to transition over to the navigator model. This is what it looks like for us, and this is what we do. This is navigation as a big picture. A lot more happens behind those little boxes and those small one arrows. We've got a lot of arrows that go a lot of different direction, as you can imagine. The nice thing about this model is we don't duplicate services at all. We do not claim to be experts. We do not claim to have the resources. We just claim to know how to navigate you to where you need to go in any of these areas. So that's really what we've been doing over the last year, is just really trying to build up our resource network. In the summertime, we brought in an extern from STEM Action Center. We've used the STEM externs for a couple of years now. It's been really great having them. They work on special projects over the summer. They're teachers from within schools across the state. And they come and work and do 200 hours with us. And we assign them a project. And we've had one, like I said, for the last couple of years. And this one that we had this year really pulled together all of our resources. So you'll be able to see them online when you're out there. We'll have guides that are going to be out there now. We just finalized everything. And that's really what we've been working on, is just trying to navigate our Idaho and our military community to the resources that are out there, because there are so many, and it can be really challenging to figure out what resource is the right resource for me. You can go to Google and pull up a whole bunch of lists, but a lot of people don't want the 1-800 number. They'd like the 208 number, and they'd like to get where they need to go almost immediately and not try to figure it out, right? Especially when they're in need of something almost immediately. So our workforce is 100% funded. Entrepreneurship is 100% funded currently. Education is 75%, and housing and family and wellness are the areas that we're really focusing on going into the future, on trying to build up the navigation services there. So these are our membership report out numbers. We are sitting roughly at somewhere around 1,900-ish members. And when we say members, they can mean all of these different things. We pretty much, if we didn't have a membership type for them, we created one over the last year, because we want to make sure that there's a way for everybody to join our organization that doesn't have barriers through funding or paying for things. So we have our individual memberships that grew to 833. Our veteran resource organization grew to 103. Our veteran and family business owner network is grown significantly. The word is definitely out on that. And when we talk about the veteran and family business owner network, we actually had an increase of aspiring business owners that joined our organization. So while they're not actual business owners yet, they're working towards that. So they're part of that network too. We have our employer network, which has been a phenomenal resource this year in helping us through some of our SkillBridge challenges. And then we have our sponsorship or community partnerships, which this is the one paid membership that we do have. And the reason why we have that is because there are people and companies and organizations that want to support the cause of what we're doing, because we're a nonprofit 501c3. And we provide free membership and free navigation for all of those other services. They provide a sponsorship membership for our organization to help us fund the free membership and the free navigation services. So you might see a little bit more on these sponsorship and community partnership memberships coming out, because we do have 2 grants that are ending at the end of this year. So we are going to be focusing a little bit more on that. But we feel like at this point we've created some value, and it should be easy for us to be able to connect with companies and organizations to help us with continuing to keep things free. And then we do have 421 people where they've come into our network. We're not really sure. We're working on some big data cleanup right now. It's one of our projects going into the new year that we'll be trying to clean up some of our data, because we had a huge mass influx of people entering our system over the last 1.5 years, 2 years since we started our grants. which means we were doing our job and we were doing what we were supposed to be doing. But our system grew, our CRM grew to where we have some data that we now need to clean up and figure out if they're veterans or how they came into our system and how we can get them categorized to the right membership. So in our entrepreneurship navigation services, just to give you a little bit of an update on what we did in this area over the last year, and like I said, probably a little bit more beyond that too as well, because I'm really looking across our 2 years of grants that we had in, that we received. So we received the SBA grant, the Community Navigator Pilot Program, and then we also received a Workforce Development Council grant, and that helped us to launch those navigation services. And so these are the things that we were focused on accomplishing with those grants. So we increased our veteran, disabled, and women veteran certifications. We have APEX, formerly known as PTAC here. Where's Lee? Lee for president, he's out there. Oh, there's Lee. Lee for president, yeah. When I first met Lee at APEX, I was actually pursuing my own veteran business owner certification for my business that I had started. And then we went into COVID when we started the chamber, and he came to us live, and he's got the most awesome background for his Zoom. He's got the presidential desk sitting there with the flag, and he's just an amazing supporter for our business owners. We've been doing coffee chats with them. We've been doing, bringing in diversity suppliers to come and connect with our business owners, which is something that we really wanted to create that space between our military community and our Idaho community and the business community. And what are the opportunities that we have? Well, we know that our business owners are going to naturally attract to us because of our name. And they may not necessarily know about opportunities like getting certified to do business with the government or just being able to do business locally with other companies. So I know we have Micron here. Matthew has come to one of our coffee chats to talk about the opportunities and how to become a supplier in their system. We have Exit with, did I say it right, Chelsea? Excite. Okay, I had to be all fancy and think it can't possibly be Excite, but Chelsea's gonna be, they're gonna be at our next supplier coffee chat. They're a big contracting partner with Micron on that new fab that's going in, so it's been really great. We've been connecting businesses with them, getting certified, and also connecting with them. We brought in the Army National Guard too as well. We're really just trying to create some opportunities where we can connect our business owners to the opportunities and help eliminate that confusion or trying to figure it out on your own, because it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of supplier systems in our state, and trying to find the right ones is challenging, and then there's lots of them. So applying and applying and applying to be a part of a system when you're not sure if it's gonna bring the results that you need is something that we try to keep them focused on. We increased our registration for the Veteran and Family Business Directory in Idaho. We just launched our new website just in the last couple of months, where you can search for, I sound like a robot. I've always wanted to say that. So fun. So we because you see, or well, the slide before that, 272 businesses, we had to figure out how are we going to be able to get them searchable, because what we really want to do is work with partners like Buy Idaho and Fair Idaho and Department of Commerce and other organizations to say buy local, buy veteran owned, buy spouse owned, right? Really start creating some of those campaigns around what they already do. And the support has been really great so far in regards to us trying to get those connections and that awareness just out there for these other organizations that could be creating this awareness. And this is really what this week is all about, right? Is trying to create that awareness for our military connected community. We've done the Capitol Show the last couple of years with Buy Idaho, and we'll do it again this year because it was our first event that we just got hooked on. So much fun. And we're hoping to have our own wing ma'am this year. She's already said yes, absolutely. We brought in quite a few veteran business owners last year And so we're just building and growing, creating these opportunities where we can really maximize. And then we talked about the diversity supplier network. So there's a lot of moving pieces that are happening right now, but really what we're trying to do is just be that network. We have lots of companies that are coming to us and saying, we want to create set-asides for veteran business owners. In fact, St. Alphonsus, I know Lorenzo's not here, he's one of our board members, but he's DEI director there. St. Alphonsus just put a set aside for 5% of spend has to go on veteran business owners, which is really awesome to see, some of those companies creating those set asides for those. And that's just the power of awareness. That's just the power of creating the space where you're creating that education for others to think about how can we include and how can we support the veteran community. All right, and then we have our Workforce Development Council grant. We increased our veteran and family-friendly employer network significantly. We've done a lot of work with the SkillBridge program. Let's see, where is Song? Song is here. There is Song. Song Lee is actually one of our newest placements of SkillBridge. He just recently started with Wright Brothers Construction. They're working on their 4th SkillBridge member that we've been able to place with them doing project management and different things. But SkillBridge became way more of a bear than we ever thought it would be, and mostly because DOD just shut down and said, we're not going to run this program anymore, but it's running. But we can't approve people, we can't approve employers. The workforce crisis has just crippled DOD being able to keep up with the demand of employers wanting to bring in interns. So, so we said, how can we help? We're here to help. We worked with Mountain Home Air Force Base, we worked with DOD. We were an MOU site, and so we've been able to do third parties for the last year and a half, which has been simply amazing to be able to do that. One, employers are not losing the opportunity to get access to early talent when they're transitioning out of the military. Two, the members not losing the opportunity to transition to where they're going to land after they get out of the military, whether they're coming from out of the state or locally, and allow them to get transitioned, get acclimated to their community, get acclimated to the civilian workforce, and pick up some skills before they actually leave active duty. If you want more information on that program, our mod is back there and he's happy to give you information. We've got lots of it on our website. We're creating a SkillBridge network just for our employers on our webpage because the site on DOD can be really difficult to find people. Like I said, they're working on trying to really build up that program and how they can support the employers, but it became a very big bear for them over the last couple of years with the workforce crisis. We're doing lots of placement and opportunities for military career seekers, veterans, family members as well. We're also working a lot with partnerships in this space too. We started coffee chats with Idaho Department of Labor. We're starting to do more events together so that we can double our efforts and bring in more military career seekers to get connected to the opportunities. We've also done a lot of community outreach. We go to a lot of career fairs. We're doing a lot of just being out in the public, and that's all thanks to, where's my marketing person? She's got us kind of everywhere. Everywhere I go, people say you're everywhere, and I say, oh, it's not me. It's not me everywhere. It's her having our entire team everywhere. So wherever we can be and have a table is what we've been doing to try to just get the word out. And trust me, the word is out about the chamber. We are feeling every little bit of that. Workforce metrics, so here's some report outs there. Our employer network, which we talked about, community outreach. We have anywhere from 150 to 225 employers that we're working with at any given time in Idaho that are in our system trying to get connected to career seekers. It's a lot. What we try to do is convert them into actual employer networks, and so that 215 number that we sit at just right now is people that have reached out to us and said, how can we connect? Maybe we didn't hear from them. We're trying to connect with them. So the demand is very high in this space. Our SkillBridge network has increased, And as I mentioned, we launched some coffee chats. We do SkillBridge workshops monthly, virtually, to help, because our military in transition aren't just coming to Boise. They're going everywhere. Some of the very smallest of towns that we've had to look at the map and say, where is that? Or what big city is that near? So yeah, that's been very successful. And I would say, we're on average, we have about 5 to 7 SkillBridge members from across the country, globe, reaching out to us a week, coming back to Idaho. It's pretty busy. We are getting a lot of requests where they're looking to see how we can help support. So there's a lot of opportunity for skills out there to come to your company. And then we also have our bi-weekly SkillBridge support calls that we do with them. So with that, I'm going to let myself not talk, and hopefully Lucas will talk a little bit so I can eat some lunch. I'm going to bring up our housing chair, Lucas O'Neill, so he can talk about some of the things we've been doing in this space. Woo-hoo!
All right, that's enough about me. I want to give a huge shout out to Mindy. She has been Mindy and Yuri, they're like the ducks, calm on the surface, but underneath everything's going crazy. I love those two. All right, busy year for the housing committee. The first thing we did was we donated 10 sheds with partnerships and different things. We were able to have sheds built and then donated out to the community. So that was one of the first things that we accomplished, getting those delivered, working through the Association of General Contractors. Home Depot was a huge partner for us. And then Paul Davis. I thought I saw Paul Davis' car. There we go. Saw it out in the parking lot. I was like, they're here. Sweet. I love it. Home repair projects. So she talked about we don't try and reinvent the wheel. That's just not what we do, how we do it, any of that kind of stuff. So we have organizations that'll come to us. They'll bring us a need. One of them is Operation Grateful Hearts. Others have done it, but we have housing repairs that we get brought to us, and then we work with entities already doing this, with Home Depot, again, doing phenomenal things, to make these repairs happen. And they could be something as simple as a fence repair to a complete overhaul of a house. That was a long story. But anyways, so a lot of good things going on early on in this year. Let's see, is this working? Oh, too far. That's the Horseshoe Bend house. This ended up being a monster of a project with Operation Grateful Hearts. We started out with one little simple thing that had to be done. As we dug into the project, got deeper and deeper and deeper. So working with Operation Grateful Hearts, the community partners, we were able to bring everybody together and make this happen for this veteran that had passed away. We'll show you guys a video here in a second. All right, this is my pride and joy. This is what I love talking about. Tiny home community that we've been working on. It seems like every time I talk about it, 4 more conversations come out. So anybody that wants to talk about this afterwards, I'd love to chat with you. We were able to raise $65,000 this last year. A large portion of that came from the John Barbonas Memorial Foundation. They were huge partners for us, and it looks like that partnership is going to continue. So we love having those guys on board. Completed the feasibility study and ran through all that data. Whew. That was the first time I ever done that. That was a long meeting, by the way. Learned a lot about the feasibility of this project and if it's going to work, how it's going to work, all the good details. And now we get to start kind of unpacking the data and actually putting it into play. All right, West Ada School District is in the house. I got Brian and Matt that I'm going to have Brian come up here and talk here in just a second. But we partnered with these guys in an agreement to where we brought them a trailer and we let them do the rest of the work. And I'll let Brian talk more about that, but really it was to build a partnership where somebody else is getting the skills that are needed, and we're getting to build these at a little bit cheaper of a cost. So once Brian gets a chance, you want to talk now? Go ahead, let's do it.
Thanks. Where is Mindy? Where is she? Where's Mindy? Hand up.
Guilty.
Me too. I just want to say I'm a retired vet. I retired 9 years ago, and I had no idea this existed until Casey Cron, who I sit on the Education Foundation Board of the Idaho AGC. I mentioned that we sent 2 of our teachers, Matt and Trevor Nelson, he's not here, he's teaching today, to build tiny homes. Casey about had a coronary. She said, oh my God, you got to talk to Mindy Anderson. You know Mindy? And I said, no, I don't. And here we are 2 years later with an agreement signed, trailers in the lot, and we're starting to build. Yeah. It's, it's the kids came into construction to learn how to build. And Matt is a phenomenal instructor, and so is Trevor. It's a 3-year program, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. And when we gave them the opportunity to build something and put it in front of them that it's for a reason, I mean, we've built storage sheds, we've built storage buildings. The last passion project we probably did was we rebuilt the building in front of Meridian High School. The Achievement House. I should take a memory class. Wait till you get my age. It's tough. Oh, man. Lucas, right? Yeah. Lucas, yeah. So when we presented this to the students, before Matt even ended what he was talking about, they're all in. And so we got 2 trailers. We've taken materials, starting to lay things out. We're actually looking maybe for some dry area to build. It's not a construction site. It's a construction lab, if you will. There's not a lot of value in kids not being able to do things because their fingers are frozen. Although I think it builds character. Anyways, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity for our students to build these. The cool thing is it's building for cost. So when you guys donate, whatever you donate to this project, it is not going to any labor at all. And so that provides a quality product. And it's just such a neat thing that they're doing. As a veteran myself, I can't believe that there isn't something like this already. So thank you for getting us involved, Mindy. Thank you. And Lucas has got phenomenal leadership in this in the project. He's there when we need him. And this is for a long. What do we do? Sign a 5-year deal, 10-year deal. Let's just keep building them until the mayor of Meridian says, "Hey, I want a tiny home village for veterans in Meridian." Was that right? Is that how you wanted me to say it? Okay, perfect. If I lived in Meridian, I'd vote for you. So, but I don't. Ada County doesn't have a mayor. So, anyways, thank you for asking me to speak, Mindy. Is that anything else you want me to bring up? Or
Nailed it.
all right. Thank you very much.
I'm pretty sure that the only person that could reach the level of excitement about this project were those 2 guys. Like when we started having these conversations, they were over the moon excited about, the stars aligning. They had literally just completed this training, and now they have a purpose that they can go to their students, deliver it to them, and give the students something that down the road, the kids will be able to have their kids drive by and like, I built those trailers, those tiny homes. Like, that's huge. I just got chills. Anyways. Negotiations on land. I will shout this from a rooftop. Every conversation I can have about possible land, as you guys all know, real estate in the valley is going bonkers. Land is like 10 years ago. So if you guys have an opportunity to have a conversation around land, we're having some really good conversations, but until one is signed, inked, done, dried, all good to go, I will have every conversation that I can get in front of to make this happen. We have some deadlines. We'll go with that. Project committee, we're going to start launching this in January of 2024. So again, if you guys are interested in learning more about this project and want to kind of help push it along and make it happen and really bring it to fruition, love to have that conversation about that too. Let's see. Video?
With housing being such an issue in the Treasure Valley, the West Ada School District and the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce got together to address this issue for veterans.
We have homeless veterans.
Yeah.
We have veterans that are having a hard time getting back into society. And it could be from deployments, from coming back from overseas, or just transitioning to the civilian world.
According to a 2021 U.S. Census Bureau survey, over 122,000 veterans live in Idaho alone. Brian Cleland, the Special Projects Facilitator of West Ada School District, thinks that these kinds of projects will help put a roof over several veterans who are homeless.
It's just another opportunity for a veteran to find some stability and have a place to live, to call their own, have the responsibility, and get themselves back into society and have some opportunities.
Building the homes will solely be done by students of the CTE program at Owyhee High School.
that along with learning those skills and coming out job ready to join a trade, they're also providing things for us as a school, for us as a district, and also in the community.
With students still learning the trade, I asked about the timeline and goals that they have set for the program.
We're looking to build 2 a year during the school year. All the materials are bought or donated by the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce. They've got a great network of support.
If you want to donate or help out, you can find more information on this project or many others on the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce website or the West Ada School District website. Reporting in Meridian, I'm Alexander Huddleston, Idaho News 6.
So I told Brian, I love that interview, but it's 8 next year. We're going for 8. 2 is not enough. So no pressure. Bring it on. Okay, go. So I want to shout out for the CTE, Home Depot, and the AGC. Without those partners, this would not be to the level that it is. So can get a round of applause for those guys. And I think I'm off the hook.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir. All right, very exciting stuff. We're going to move on to talking about education. So we've done a little bit of work in our education space and navigation. We hosted our second annual education summit up at the University of Idaho, which was great. We did a hybrid, so we're trying to do more hybrid stuff and traveling around the state. It was well attended. We've provided 99 members with education outreach support, navigation services, helping them get connected to different resources. We developed a SkillBridge certification project management track with our local PMI chapter and global PMI through our SkillBridge program. So Justin Hughes, where is he? Chief out of Gowan Field, he's getting ready to retire, and he's going to be the first one to help us pilot the SkillBridge project management track. We're going to work with global PMI and see if we can't create something that can be spread across the state and with other employers to use that track so that it can help military members in transition get their project management certification completed by the time they get done with SkillBridge. And so we're hoping that we pilot that in the next year and we can share that with other employers in the state of Idaho and then also nationwide too as well with Department of Defense. We've been supporting the Workforce Development Council with their launch program. I'm sure you've heard a lot of radio ads in regards to those efforts. They're here today too as well. They have a booth back there and they got a lot of really great information on that, so stop by and see them. Apprenticeship Coalition efforts. We've been working with the Apprenticeship Coalition on creating a form that can help with the navigation of getting somebody connected to apprenticeship opportunities. So they're formed traditionally, and as you know, military-connected people may have benefits that they can use with apprenticeship, but if the form is not screening for that, then the person is not going to know to ask them if they have connected benefits that they could possibly use. So we worked with the Apprenticeship Coalition to actually get questions in their form when other organizations are going to navigate somebody through the apprenticeship pages, and it says, have you, your spouse, or a family member, your spouse, or a parent ever served in the military? And hopefully that will be able to start the conversation of just making sure that we're catching those people because, sometimes kids don't know that there's benefits out there because maybe parents haven't told them yet, or they haven't had a conversation, or there might be some Air National Guard members that are going through an apprenticeship program and they could be using tuition assistance and maybe they don't know that's available because they're only there 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. So there's just a lot of really great work we've done with the Apprenticeship Coalition. We've been working with the institutes and Office State Board of Education to figure out how to connect with high school students. There's actually an education benefit where they can tap into getting GI Bill benefits that don't go into their GI Bill benefits 6 months prior to them leaving high school. So they could start off with college with $7,000 in scholarship funding. and they don't know that because the counselors don't know to ask, or there's not a lot of education. But there's a lot of work to be done in that space, so we've been working on that. And then we've done some education fairs with Mountain Home Air Force Base too as well. Our family and wellness, last year we had RiseX is an executive professional network that I'm happy to be a part of. They're a great connection of people in our community that want to just support each other in the professional network space. They sponsored Valor Point, and we sponsored an event where we brought all their members together. We purchased gift cards, other things, filled some stockings, and we had their social worker come and receive everything. And the social worker had said to us, as she was tearing up at our RiseX event, that it really meant a lot because sometimes these smaller communities don't get the attention that they need. Valor Point is a complete veteran apartment complex, and it's for formerly homeless veterans that live there. And not a lot of people know about Valor Point. It's the only one in the state of Idaho that is just for veterans. And there's 26 residents, but unfortunately, Department of Veteran Affairs can't go out and say, who wants to get presents for these formerly homeless veterans or help during Christmas? So she was really excited when we reached out because it had been several years since anybody had reached out to them. And so it was really awesome to see, and we'll be doing that every year. We also connected veterans to Senator Crapo's office, support and disability efforts, somebody that was struggling for 10 years. And she said to me, I can't believe how quickly I've been able to get answers since you've connected me to Senator Crapo's office. She said, I've been struggling with this for 10 years and I'm getting way more progress than I ever thought I would in just, the few conversations I've had with them. So you just never know. And she was at her wit's end. She reached out and she said, I'm fighting with disability. I'm really having a hard time. I don't know where to go. And so I said, okay, let's connect you there. And so we've also done a lot of really great connections with legal support requests, home loan benefits issues. We had actually a veteran that reached out. She's a 100% disabled veteran, and she said, her husband is, and she's a spouse, and she said, we had to go the route of getting insurance, and we couldn't actually do our VA home loan because the builder and the mortgage broker said that we didn't qualify at 100% disability benefits. And when I sent it over to our Homes for Hero realtor, he looked at it and he said, she needs to file a lawsuit. There's absolutely no reason a builder should have ever told her and her husband, and now she's paying $500 extra a month because somebody told her that she couldn't use her benefits with her husband. So, these are just some of the things that we come across, and this is what we try to prevent and we hope to prevent, but so we can't catch everything, right? And so, we just try to help navigate people when they're at their point of just really frustrated. So strategic future, launch of housing navigation services. We will be utilizing our SkillBridge members. We have a couple that will be starting with us in the next couple of months to help us with the tiny homes project, also help us with the launch of our home repair project in a full capacity. We're going to continue to build and grow our navigation service lines, although I don't know how much more they could possibly grow because we are very, very busy at the Chamber with our navigation services. The other is, something we've been looking at and figuring out. We've got lots of veterans and patriots across the state of Idaho that have said, how do we create something like what you have in the Treasure Valley area in our area? And we have had goals of getting across the state. We thought we would get there a little bit more this year, traveling across, but we are helping a lot of communities, that's for sure, in the virtual space. So we're actually going up north this week, and we're gonna have conversations surrounding building our first chamber network in the northern Idaho area. So we're gonna start building little sub-hub networks wherever anybody wants to build one and create the space and try to support them as much as we can now that we have that really good foundation underneath us. Really focus on our board development. I know that we are strategically meeting in January to outline goals for the strategic plan for our board and continue to develop how we can support the chamber, and then solidify sustainable funding pathways. So as a nonprofit 501c3, it's almost unheard of to get the 2 large grants that we got in less than a year from inception. And I've felt every bit of that, I think, because we were just not quite as prepared as I thought we would be when we launched, but we quickly got it together. And I'm very proud to say that from our efforts, when we started the grants and we really started launching in less than 2 years ago, one of the first things that I was very cognizant of is trying to build sustainable funding so that when these grants stop, our services don't, because there's in no way we're going to be able to turn them off right now. So we are very stable in our funding pathway. We've got a really great plan through Idaho Partners for Good and what they've helped us build. And we're not fully funded for 2024, but we are working on being pretty close to that with our plans that we have to roll out. So very excited. This just talks about our ambassador network. If anybody's interested, patriot, veteran, military serving, family member, anybody can be an ambassador with us. We've really grown this over the last year. It's been really great to have some of our strongest supporters are patriots as ambassadors, which is awesome. And we are going to be doing a little bit more in our mentorship network. We've already started connecting business owners with business owners and career seekers with leaders in the fields that they want to go into, but we're going to be focusing on that a little bit more. And then we have our supplier network, which we talked about, just building and growing that a little bit more so that we can provide more opportunities. We also just launched our landing page for the supplier network, and we have companies that are registering with us to be part of that, whether they want to do business with a supplier or they want to be a supplier. We're building that out now on our website. So you can register for that if you want to be a part of that through our landing page. These are all of our annual sponsors that we've had, whether they've been through events or in-kind, reciprocating, sponsorship, memberships. We've got just a wide variety of support here from our sponsors. And honestly, when you have large grants, they're restricted to some degree. There's still certain things that you can't pay for, and you do still need funding for other things. And so this has been really beneficial to have to help us with really getting to where we need to go. And then these are some of our donors that we've had, our largest donor being the John Bourbonis Foundation. I know Hayward's here from the John Bourbonis Foundation. The golf tournament that we did in May that Lucas put together and raised $80,000 for the BSU golf team and then us. So we were one of the beneficiaries of that golf tournament that they do in honor of John Bourbonis, who was killed in action in Iraq after he was guarding a gate, and he had a truck full of explosives from enemy personnel charging the base, and he shot the vehicle and he disarmored the vehicle. However, the vehicle blew up at the entry point and killed him in action. So he saved a lot of lives that day, and so we can't thank you enough. Please let the Bourbonis family know that we appreciate all that they've done. It really means a lot, and we've been able to do some really great things with that funding, putting it into the Tiny Homes Project. And then we have our grant partners. We couldn't do it without these large grants and small grants too as well that we've been able to receive. So with that, last year we did a proclamation reading, and this year we had several cities from across the state that said, I'd love to do a proclamation with our city. I went to the city of Boise's First Thursday on Thursday last week. I went to, well, I wouldn't say I went to Cascade. I was driving from Cascade because that's where I live. I was driving down from Cascade, and we were able to do a proclamation yesterday with the city of Cascade. And we have the city of Mountain Home that does theirs every year. City of Lewiston, we have one of our ambassadors up north that's going to be going to their city hall council meeting to accept the proclamation, the bonus benefits of having ambassadors everywhere. And then we have our city of Meridian. And with that, I'm going to ask Mayor Simison if you would come forward and provide the proclamation for Meridian.
Thank you, Mindy. Appreciate it very much, and thank you everyone for their service and your commitment, and especially on Election Day. It's all about the country, and even if you can't vote in Meridian, there's an election that you can vote in Ada County if you live in the county or anywhere. So I encourage everyone to get out and vote today. With that, I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas nearly 1 out of 10 small businesses across the United States is veteran-owned and are a pillar of our economy and contribute to the foundation of our nation, from Main Street storefronts to virtual high-tech startups. And whereas veteran and spouse small business owners are resilient, disciplined, and mission-oriented, thanks to their military service and committed to serving our country and communities. And whereas when we resolve ourselves to strengthen our communities, we must empower and support the giants that veteran and spouse entrepreneurs are in our economy. And whereas Idaho Veteran and Spouse Small Business Week highlights the programs and services available to veteran and spouse entrepreneurs through so many resources, partners at the state and federal level. And whereas the state of Idaho and the city of Meridian support and join in this national effort to help America's veterans and spouse-owned small businesses start, grow, and recover their businesses after a disaster and help our communities thrive. Therefore, I, Mayor Robert E. Simpson, hereby proclaim November 6th through 11th, 2023 as Veterans and Spouse Small Business Week in the city of Meridian, and call upon the citizens to join me in recognizing and celebrate the veteran-owned businesses in our community, dated the 7th day of November, 2023. So, Mindy. I'll present that to you, but we're going to do it again tomorrow at City Council. So, do you want me to take it, or do you want to keep it?
You can take it.
Okay.
But I do. My marketing person looks like she wants a picture. Thank you, sir. Appreciate all of your support. We'll see you tomorrow. Yes. Awesome. And if you're looking for a business to shop with this week, we have a directory. All right. With that, I'm going to ask Hayward and George from the Military Order of the Purple Heart chapter to come forward. We have a donation we'd like to give to them. We did our Heritage Luncheon this year in honor of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. And while it's not a big fundraiser for us, it's more of an awareness. We want to make sure that we support the Purple Hearts and the assistance that they provide to veterans, whether it be through gas cards or groceries, or supporting Operation Grateful Hearts when they have emergency assistance, or the Idaho Division of Veterans Services sometimes has needs that happen, other nonprofit organizations. The Purple Hearts really just step up all the time when there's a need out there in the community. And so with that, we'd like to present you with a $1,000 donation to the Military Order of the Purple Heart chapter. Oh, I'm going too fast. All right, Ed, where's our friend Ed? I'm going to bring up Ed from Twisted District. He is one of our veteran business owners, and we had a business pitch Shark Tank competition last night, so he's going to tell you all about that, and we're going to announce some winners and give away some money.
Let's give it up to Mindy Anderson here, because she has done a fantastic job. Weird microphone. Honestly, what she's doing with this program is she's changing lives, honestly. I mean, we're changing lives with what we're doing right now as far as businesses go, veteran-owned businesses. But what she does on a daily basis changes lives. And it saves lives in doing that, because we all know, just by a show of hands, how many active duty veterans, reservists, or retired military do we have here right now? Just by a show of hands. Yeah, give them a hand. A lot of times, we don't feel real comfortable announcing that in a public venue, especially some of us old timers. We didn't grow up in the era of thank you for your service. So it's harder for us as we get older to reach out and get help when we really need it. And admit that we can't do it on our own, because that's how we were raised. And so organizations like this and what she's doing is just amazing. I've seen it firsthand, and I'm about to help a couple of people do it today. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart what you've done. We really appreciate it. Being a veteran-owned business, a woman-owned business, and the support and help you have out there is it's selfless work, and you're just a great heart and a great giving person. So give her a hand, man. I'll also introduce you to my business partner, Greta Moore. We own Twisted District Brew Co. in Garden City on Chinden Boulevard. We are a veteran-owned, women-owned business. We have in case you can't tell, Marine Corps veteran. Hoorah, brother. I love my Marine Corps brothers and sisters, but we are the CrossFit of the military branches. We are not about to let you think we belong to any other branch of service, right? So with that, we are going to have a big Marine Corps birthday celebration again, third annual one, out at Twisted District Brew Co. All branches of service are invited to come out and enjoy it. Marines get their first beer free. We have traditional steak dinner. Next day is Veterans Day. Any veteran, active duty, or reservist that comes in gets their first beer free. Steak dinner again. We have a lot of stuff going on this weekend. It's a big weekend, so come on out and celebrate veterans in the community this weekend, okay? So without any further ado, I want to tell you about what we did last night. We had a Shark Tank. Some of you may have seen my ad. My daughters were not happy about it, but we had a Shark Tank, a literal Shark Tank, just like the show. And we had a panel of judges, and we had 6 individual businesses, veteran-owned businesses, come out and pitch their ideas to the judges. And it was a great time. There were some great businesses. 6 great businesses pitched their idea. On Glass Adapter, you can give them a round as I announce them. On Glass Adapter came out and pitched. Happy Hooves Oasis came out and pitched. Happy Hooves Oasis came out and pitched. Soldier Mountain Highlands and Huns, which, yeah, give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. I didn't know what that meant either when I first heard it, but apparently he raises beef and cattle, and it's really a great business. Zero Dark 30 Coffee was out there pitching. Locust Grove Woodcraft was out making a pitch. And Main Street Makers were out there pitching. There's a couple out there, and they make everything from doormats to candles to everything out there, and clothing and stuff like that. Again, veteran and spouse owned. Yeah, give them a hand. So it was great to watch these veterans come out and pitch their ideas. Unfortunately, we can only have 2 winners, right? First and a second. I'd like to give them all a prize, but there were 2. Now, the judges that judged this are here today, and I want to bring them up on stage one at a time. First of all, give it up for Karen Applegren from Community Banking and Zions Bank. Marlene Myers, Vice President at JP Morgan Chase. Is Marlene here? She's not here yet? Okay. Jennifer Lastra from 360 Immersive, come on up. and Irene Gonzalez from the Small Business Administration. Come on up. And these ladies had a really tough job. I was talking with them last night, and then I was talking with them this morning, and they were actually deadlocked for a long time. It was a very, very challenging, right? Was it? Yeah, it was, they were great businesses. They all were great businesses. They all had great potential. And like I said, we'd only have two winners today, so, but they all did a fantastic job. Also, we had the main sponsor here. I want to bring him up. I gave them a hard time last night, and they took it like champs. My two Italian cousins, Vinny and, no, it's Michael and Simon from Swire Coca-Cola. Please come on up. Give them a round of applause. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. How's things with the family, huh? I know, right? Forget about it. Forget about it, that's right. All right, what else did I do here? Okay, so Swire, we're gonna have you guys, Simon and Michael, present the checks. Or are we gonna bring somebody else up right now? Are you just waiting to present the checks? Can we go? Okay, thank you. We planned this to the detail. All right, without further ado, in second place from the pitch event last night, a winner of a $2,000 infusion of cash into their business is Brian Granville from Locust Grove Woodcraft. Give him a round of applause. Brian, are you here? If he's not here, we got to give it to somebody else? No. Oh, okay.
No.
Go ahead.
He's watching live, I'm sure. So he still has a job because, you know, this is something he does on the side. And he's a contractor in Alaska, and he had to leave this morning to go on his contracting position. But I know he's watching on live YouTube. So, yeah.
All right, give it up for Brian. Okay. I got to say, he's a Marine veteran, so, you know, I'm not saying, but I'm saying. All right. In first place, ooh, it's so exciting. First place, winner of a $4,000 check infusion into his business, or her business, is Jared Webb from Zero Dark 30 Coffee. Congratulations, Jared. Another Marine. All right, please give all these contestants another round of applause. It was fantastic. And again, thank you to Swire Coke, and thank you to Mindy from Veterans Chamber. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Ed. He's hired for next year, too, by the way, for our event. We had such a fun time last night. If you hear about it next year, make sure you join us. I also want to thank Alina. She is from Boise State University, Venture College. When I said to her and Kara, I'd love to do this with some better mentorship on how this works. I've not been a person that's run pitch competitions. And she just kept the ship running, and she helped me steer things in the right direction to where we were able to grow it a little more this year. And while we're working on that Shark Tank model, she was really able to help kind of bring the vision forward on how to get there. And so we look forward to growing the partnership with you guys every year. And we had the easy job. We got to Twisted District last night, and Ed said, I'm in charge, and I'm going to run the show. And we said, okay, this is like any person's dream come true, to show up an event that you're supposed to be running, and you actually end up sitting down the whole time and letting Ed do it all. So, Ed, you're hired. Thank you, Alina, for everything. All right, so the last thing that we have on our agenda is what we all came here for, which is to announce some winners. Last year, we did a State of the State Chamber. This year and every year after this, just like local city chambers, we'd like to create and do some awards that are specific to our partners and also our members that are connected to our navigation service lines, because we understand that these people don't have to create partnerships with us. But our motto at the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce is together is better, and we really try not to do anything without somebody else. As you'll see in all the mentions I've had with partnering up with different organizations and agencies, we are really trying to live out that motto of together is better, and we want to do things together because it just makes a huge difference when you partner up together. And so our awards this year, our team connected and our chairs connected and identified some of these new categories that you see here and ones that we may change next year, or we may keep them as they are, but we plan to continue to grow this program too as well. So with that, I'm going to ask a couple of people to come forward. And as we announce the winners of each of the categories, I'll ask them to come forward too. Some know, because I had to let them know to say, you really need to be here. Is there any possible way you might be able to send someone? And then I want to bring up some of our chairs from the different committees that help with the navigation service lines. So with that, we're going to bring up Joseph Varisa. He's our Workforce Steering Committee Chair. Is he still here? There he is. Okay, and Jessica Kofod, our Board Chair. And I'd also like to bring up Mayor Simison, and we also have our Senator Rish's office, Director Kevin Arkush, if you could come forward. We're going to give out some awards, and we'd love for you to be up here to congratulate them. We also have Lucas from our Housing Committee, and then Yori, okay, and Armad. He's with our Workforce Navigation Services. All right, so our Housing Partner of the Year, we did elect to choose, I thought the stage would be a little bigger. For our Housing Partner of the Year, this goes to a company that has donated a lot of time and effort into our home repair projects. The sheds that we bill every year with Construction Combine for the last 2 years are completely donated by Home Depot. We also do them in their Home Depot parking lot for 2 days. We take up a good portion of their parking lot with all the students that come in and build the sheds. They also provide volunteers for 2 days from Home Depot that help with making sure we don't need supplies, getting things out, helping with the construction of the sheds. It's just amazing. If you hear about it happening next year, I encourage you to just stop by and see what they're doing. 75 students from across the Treasure Valley are out there building sheds, and they get 10 of them done in 2 days, and then we get the joy of delivering them. It was one of the things that Home Depot said, I will give you supplies, but you have to make sure that they go to veterans. And our former member, who has now passed away, Eric Kirschenberger, said, Mindy, do you know veterans? I got to give away 10 sheds. I said, I know veterans, Eric. And so it was an honor to continue to be a part of this program again this year. Not only that, but they do provide supplies to our home repairs, as Lucas had mentioned. And so with that, we selected Home Depot as our Housing Partner of the Year. They were? Oh, there they are. Come on. Yeah, come on, both of you. Yes, sir. I think so. Yes. Yeah. So there you go. And so you can hang out here and let's get a picture and then, yeah. All right, thank you. Thanks for coming. All right, our next one is our Education Partner of the Year. Since we've started, it can be a little hard sometimes when you're starting an organization where it may feel like you might duplicate other people's services. And I will say with the Idaho Division of Veterans Services Education Division, the state approving agency office, they've never, ever not wanted to be a part of what we're doing, instead say, this is really great that you've created this space. And this collaboration so that all of our education institutes, our training centers, Office State Board of Education, we're all on one call, trying to figure out how do we better support our military-connected members. And anything that I've asked of Shannon from the Idaho Division of Veterans Services, she has just said, yes, absolutely. She presents at our education summit. She just makes things happen, just the most selfless leader. And with that, we nominated and are recognizing Shannon Lambert from the Idaho Division of Veterans Services Education State Approving Agency as Education Partner of the Year. And this is my first time meeting her in person. It's usually by Zoom. Thank you so much. It's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, our next, I know I've talked quite a bit about all the workforce stuff that we've done and all of the great work we've been able to accomplish over the last couple of years. But honestly, it would not be possible without the Workforce Development Council's Innovation Training Fund grant that they provided to us. Wendy Sechrist, who's going to be here later on our panel, she was one of the first people to reach out to me. And she said, we're going to make this work. We're going to find some funding with the workforce initiatives. This is such a need. Where have you been? And she kept on saying, where have you been? So did Senator Crapo's office. I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know what that means, but now I do. There is a gap to be filled, and she just believed in our mission from the beginning, and that's how we were. She really advocated for us. And we first presented for a $25,000 grant, and that got declined. And she said, that's not the right grant. We need to go for a much larger one. And I said, okay, let's do this. So we did, and it was the best decision we ever made, and she's been a great support. And so with that, we'd like to recognize the Workforce Development Council for their support. And here today is Sharon representing from the Workforce Development Council.
Fantastic. See, I know you've been there a minute.
Thank you. All right, our Entrepreneur Partner of the Year. Somewhat a little bit similar to the Workforce Development Council. If it wasn't for the Small Business Administration, our entrepreneurship navigation services would definitely not be where we're at right now. When we decided to go in partnership with them and go into the hub and spoke model, I never knew that I would be getting such a wonderful friend too as well with Irene Gonzalez. She's just an amazing person. She's been with the SBA for just a little while. But anything we ask of, she's been wonderful to support with us. She's always reaching out to us. How can she help? Volunteering at some of our events. With the Small Business Administration, we just can't thank you guys enough for all that you did to believe in us at the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And so with that, our Entrepreneur Partner of the Year is the Small Business Administration. All right, our next is our Ambassador of the Year award. And this goes to one of our ambassadors that's not a veteran. As I mentioned earlier, some of our greatest ambassadors are patriots. This ambassador is somebody that does have a father that has served in the military. She has done really great work for us in the last couple of years. She's really great at selling raffle tickets too at our events. It goes something like this: I work at a bank, give me your money. And with that, she's been at almost every single event that we've had, registration check-ins, keeping us straight. She's just amazing. She shows up and she just gets to work whenever we're doing things out in the community. So with that, I'd like to recognize Jessica Cardoza from CAPED as our Ambassador of the Year.
You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and then we have our Employer Network Member of the Year, and this employer has been one that was originally interested in doing SkillBridge, has submitted countless applications for them to go nowhere. And instead of getting frustrated by that and not being a place to accept members that want to transition into their company, they have said, we'll do third parties, we'll do whatever we need to do, and they've now accepted 4 SkillBridge interns into their project management program within their company. Not only that, but Wright Brothers also is a great sponsor of us and supporter in our home repair projects. Our first home repair project that we had, I said, do you have a great gutter company? And Mandy Wright said, yes, I do. Here's her information, and then can you send us the bill after? So she took care of the gutters, but she's supported our Avenues for Hope campaign project. Each year when we have different campaigns for Idaho Gives, she's been supportive. So can't thank Wright Brothers enough for all that they've done for us over the last couple of years, and one of just the initial early supporters of our organization. And with that, our Employer Network Member of the Year is Wright Brothers Construction. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I promise I'll get a bigger stage next year. Awesome. Thank you. All right, just 3 more awards to go. We've got 5 navigation service lines, so we've got quite a few. but it's really important to recognize these individuals. Our Veteran Business Owner of the Year goes to one of our veterans that's not here today. He's actually currently military serving on reserve status as a pilot out of Mountain Home Air Force Base. He is one of the inventors and has a patent for a drone. You may have seen Pitch Aeronautics. They were an Idaho Commerce iGEMS grant recipient. They also just received an SBIR grant. They're working with research and development groups. They also were nominated 2 years in a row as the coolest thing made in Idaho. They make drones that save lives in inspecting buildings, bridges, climbing towers, different things. So very cool product, and they can't be here today, but Pitch Aeronautics has had the most significant growth and determination and passion behind their business and has had a lot of great expansion. And so with that, they are our Veteran Business Owner of the Year. All right, and our spouse, oh, you want the, I'll help, yeah, you want that one? Thank you. Yeah.
Good job, thank you, that makes me feel better.
I voted. All right, with our Spouse Business of the Year, we have one of our spouse business owners that does a lot of really great work for veterans. Their company is actually something that could help my house out a little bit too as well. They provide services that help with disorganization in homes, and they've worked with a lot of veterans, and at times at very reduced costs or no costs at all, just because of the heart that they have for serving the veteran community. So with that, we would like to recognize Progress LLC as our Spouse Business Owner of the Year. Hopefully Tiffany is still in here. There she is.
There you go, Yori. Sorry. Okay, thank you.
Okay, our very, very last award. So this will be our highest award for our organization, and it will be our Veteran Resource Organization of the Year. Because we provide navigation and connection to resources, it makes sense to look at an organization or an agency or a department or a company that really fills the need in all of our navigation services areas wherever we may need it. This organization has done so much for us in regards to, they have partnered up with us on several events. They're on almost all of our steering committees and advocating for veterans' benefits and support. They are continuously reaching out to us to help educate their staff and their team on certain things, such as Skill Bridge program. They recently started doing the coffee chats with us. They have housing initiatives that they support us with. They've worked on the Tiny Homes Project. They're at events. I mean, pretty much anything that we're doing, they're there to support with the resources they have or connect and stay engaged. And with that, our highest award this year for Veteran Resource Organization of the Year is going to go to the Idaho Department of Labor.
Thanks, Mindy.
You guys are free to go. Well, the people on the stage. Jessica, ma'am, if you'd like to stay on board and just close us out here with some closing remarks.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate you, your support of this community, and your time today. With that, this organization, the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce, is impacting the veteran community and the business community across the state of Idaho and beyond. I'm a member of Gowan Field, the 124th, and random people are coming up to me saying, hey, the Veterans Chamber helped me get a skill bridge, or they helped me find my home, or something like that. And so truly the impact that this room is making is felt across the state and across the country. So thank you for your time, thank you for your support, and we really appreciate if you be here next year. So put us on the calendar for 2024, and we'll see you then. Thank you.